YouTube. How we doing, family? It's your boy, Yo Hoops. And this is another episode of Fading the Public. We go through every NBA game every day. Today's January 14th, 2025, and we have a 7-game NBA slate. I'm not in love with the card today, but I have one highlighted play that I really like, so make sure you guys tune in. I'm here every day. Make sure you leave a like, and let me get into today's video. Recapping yesterday, we went crazy, guys. It's starting to become the regular around here. We went 2 0 on our highlighted yet again. We had two plays, the first being the Memphis Grizzlies plus 2.5 in Houston against the Houston Rockets. The game was insane, guys. I had a big bag on Memphis plus the 2.5. When they were up by like 14 points in the third quarter, it was plus 750 for the Rockets money line. I had to hedge my bet, so I put a little bit of money on the Rockets plus 750. The way it turned out with Desmond Bane hitting that three, covering by two, my goodness, I cashed both ways plus 750 with the Rockets, and I had a ton on our plus 2.5 with the Grizzlies. Killed that one. In our next play, we had the San Antonio Spurs plus 3.5 in LA taking on the LA Lakers. Hey man, Wemby did what he did, Spurs do what they do. I told you guys, yesterday was my birthday and I had to make sure I had a big cash for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. We're on a 13-1 run right now. I've hit my last 8 highlighted plays in a row. We're on an 8-0 run. We haven't missed any in our last. On all highlighted plays given out in the new year, I'm 19-5 ATS. So, man, you know we're taking dogs too. We're up huge units. I don't even bet insane amounts on each game, and I'm up thousands of dollars to start the new year. Make sure you're tuning in. It's your boy, Yo Hoops. And let me get into today's video. In our first matchup of the evening, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers in Indiana taking on the Indiana Pacers. Cavs are laying 7 points, and the total is 231. These are two of the best teams in the league. We watched this matchup just the other night. We were on Indiana. They were 9-point dogs, and they ended up winning the game outright on the money line. So we know they could hoop with Cleveland here. But I think the books are tripping a little bit by tightening this line because I think the Cavs get some revenge in this spot. It's a lean for me because this is just such a competitive series. This is more something that I want to watch than bet on. When I look at the last matchup, it was defensive, but these are the two most offensive teams in the league. Between them, they averaged 237.3. So looking at this closer, I think the 231 is set too low. I'm going to select the over 231 as my first selection of the day, but this is just a lean, not my favorite play on the board. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder in Philadelphia taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Thunder are laying 10.5 points, and the total is 219. The Sixers are still banged up here. I mean, Embiid and KJ Martin, Kyle Lowry, and Andre Drummond are all ruled out. The Thunder obviously still have Chet out. When I look at Philly in this spot as home underdogs, they're 3-5 on the season, so they haven't even been performing getting points at home. We know who OKC is on the road as road favorites. They're 11-5-1 ATS. They've been making us the bad guys. I had to throw the Shy jersey up there. I mean, OKC goes crazy. I love them in this spot. I think the 10.5 is right where it needs to be. So make sure you're getting the 10.5. If the line grows, don't jump on like a 13.5. But we're taking the Oklahoma City Thunder minus the 10.5 as our highlighted play of the day. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Phoenix Suns in Atlanta taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Suns are laying 3 points and the total is 235. These are two of my least favorite teams to bet on. Neither of them are making money this season. The difference for me in this one is the absence of Yusuf Nurkic. So Nurkic is out here with an illness. He didn't travel with the team. And the Suns already lack big men presence. We know, I mean, KD's not out there cleaning glass, and they need help in terms of the glass cleaners in the big man department. I think that the Hawks having Okongwu and Capella here have an advantage, and there's some value on the line here. My only problem, though, is that Trae Young and Bogdanovich are questionable. So keep an eye on the injury report because this game is kind of a mess, but I'll lean towards the Hawks getting the 3 points. moving forward. In our next matchup, we have the New Orleans Pelicans in Chicago taking on the Chicago Bulls. Bulls are laying 1 point. It's basically a pick 'em, and the total is 240. Looking at the injury reports here, Kobe White is questionable. Io DeSuno is out, and then Herb Jones and Brandon Ingram are both still out. Zion is playing here for the Pelicans. And honestly, I like what I saw from them in their last game against Boston. They kept it competitive. They lost by 1 point. I did have them on the money line for plus 750, so I wanted to see them win that game, and CJ McCollum blew the game winner. But regardless, I like what I've been seeing from the Pelicans recently. Keep an eye on the injury report for the Bulls because Kobe White is a huge piece here. So if he doesn't play, I really like it more. But I'll take the Pelicans on the money line in this spot. You can get the +1, but the money line is even money. So I'll look at the Pelicans on the money line. Let's move forward. In our next matchup, we have the Sacramento Kings in Milwaukee taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks are laying 2 points, and the total is 228.5. This game's tough for me. The Bucks have been horrible in this spot. They're 6-10 ATS as home favorites, so you have not been able to lay points with Milwaukee at home. And then the Kings on the other side, they're hot. They're on a 7-game win streak right now. And really, they've been winning in dominant fashion. I like the way the Kings have been playing. The Bucks are the better team heads up to me. I mean, I feel like the Bucks have better players, but Middleton is ruled out, and I can't fade the Kings on this streak, man. They're playing really good. DeRozan's hooping. He's been closing games, and I just think they're the hotter team at the moment. I'm going to take the Kings plus the 2 points as my next selection of the evening. Moving forward. In our next matchup, we have the Denver Nuggets in Dallas taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Nuggets are laying 4.5 points, and the total is 232. This 4.5 line, it looks short to me off rip. I mean, because we know Dallas is banged up, so Nuggets are way better when healthy. Why would it only be a 4-point line? Then when I look at the Nuggets injury report, that gives me a bit of a clue. So it looks like basically the whole team, Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., basically the whole Nuggets team is probable with illness. So it looks like everyone's sick on the team, but they should go. Just the fact that they're all on the IR, though, that's concerning to me. Then when I look at the Mavs injury report, Kyrie is questionable. He may return in this game. I think something fishy is going on with this 4.5 line. And I think some of the injury news is going to break Dallas's way and break against Denver. It's not my favorite game, and keep an eye on the IR, but I'm going to lean towards the Mavs plus the 4.5 points. Let's move. In our last and final matchup of the evening, we have the Brooklyn Nets in Portland taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Blazers are laying 6 points, and the total is 216.5. This is a big number for Portland to lay. They're almost never favorites. At home, they've been favorites 5 times this season, and they're 3-2 ATS. So they've actually showed up here. And them being 6-point favorites, it makes sense to me here considering the Nets injury report. Basically, the whole team is either questionable or out. It looks like Nick Claxton, Cameron Johnson, D'Angelo Russell, and Ben Simmons are questionable. Cam Thomas is out. I mean, the Nets are a shell of themselves here. So I would lean towards Portland laying the 6 points. But when I look closer, the Nets score the 28th points per game in the league, and the Blazers score the 25th. So these are 2 bottom 5 offenses in the league who also play defense. We almost cashed the under in the Nets and Jazz the other night, but it ended up going to overtime and barely went over. In this one, I see another under setup. I think the 216.5 is set too high. We're rolling with the under 216.5 in the Nets and Trailblazers. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We've been on absolute fire. We've hit our last 8 highlighted plays in a row. We're on a 13-1 run, and every play given out in the new year, we're 19-5. ATS and plus money underdogs only. Absolutely killing it. Like I told you, I'm up thousands of dollars personally. So make sure you tune in, guys. I'm going to be here all year doing this for free. All I ask is a like from you, Show your support, guys, because we going to kill it and run up that bag together. It's your boy, Yo Hoops. And until tomorrow, I'll catch y'all. Good luck with our play of the day. Peace.